Hello, everyone. Yeah, was traveling a lot this week. Actually met more than 25 various type of investors from London, Central Europe, Baltics. But actually the whole week was looking forward to this event because, it's a privilege to be on the stage, to talk to Estonian investors community, because for us, for Lithuanians, it's a good example to follow. Today I'm going to speak, actually the presentation will be short, to give a time for questions, about investing into the banking sector. So it will be short of a theory, but it will be supported by practical examples about real things, what happens in a company or in a bank. So probably three main blocks. So why to invest in the banking sector? What are the instruments or the ways to invest and be part of, to get a party share in a bank, and actually how to choose within the banking sector, how to pick the best, banks from the universe. So first of all, so why to invest in the banking sector? So, well, there are many, things to consider, but we put four that the banks are organizations that you provide stable and diversified returns. So main key revenue generation things is interest income and fee and commission income. So that, throughout the economic cycle supports each other, but these returns are predictable and decrease risks for investors during different situations. The banking sector is highly regulated. We are working on a very strict regulatory framework. It decreases the systematic risk, increases transparency, increases disclosures, so investors could feel, on a safer side. Banks are strong, has a strong link to the economic performance. Let's take Lithuania. Last year and probably this year, our country GDP will grow at the fastest pace in the EU. What it means? That it means in a country we have consumer confidence at the highest level, wages are growing at 10%, inflation is close to zero. Banking sector is performing well. Under such an environment, banking sector is doing well. Banking sector is growing almost 10% last year, and we expect more or less the same growth this year. And attractive dividend yields. Compared to other high growth sectors, banks are paying dividends. We are sharing, the returns that we are generating with investors. Going forward to the ways to invest in the banking sector, so banks offers broader universe of instruments to choose compared to other business segments. So we put four here, but there are even more. So the equity, so absolutely you are getting, a stake in the bank. You are applicable for the dividends and for the potential price appreciation. Going down the line, we do have hybrid instruments. Such kind of instruments, probably 5 or less years ago, wasn't available for the investors, but recently, actually, if a bank doesn't offer such kind of opportunity to invest in a bank, so the bank probably doesn't use sufficiently its capital. What is interesting that such kind of investments offers you around 5 or 6% higher return compared to the deposits. And debt instruments, so the most popular class on fixed income returns. So again, it's a good, choice for the investors in case you want higher return compared to the deposits. So you can get 2 or 3% higher rate than typical deposits. Last year we have discussed the framework, went pretty deeply into the details, how to choose a bank within the sector. So I will go through these 5 blocks by giving example Šiauliu bankas as a case, because our shareholders, we are highly remunerated for being with us, and that's puts in a way that the framework that we are discussing works well. So the first thing, the business model. So without business model, it's nothing. The bank itself has stable, diversified model, a good presence in the market, and what is important, strong anchor investors that are committed to the strategy. The track record is an important thing to consider. Šiauliu Bank has delivered throughout the cycles at least 15% of a growth rate. But what is important, the growth itself doesn't matter. You have to earn profit. So profitability, you can't lose profitability. Šiauliu Bank has delivered 15% of return. So while you're growing, you have to earn return for the shareholders. The capital structure. You can work by having only equity on your balance sheet, but it's not efficient. You need to look for ways how to optimize the funds that you have attracted from the equity investors. So what we had done, we attracted debt instruments that can substitute the equity. So on one hand, we optimize the equity, what we have on our balance sheet, but on the other hand, we opened opportunity for the fixed income investors to invest into the bank. Currently, we do have around 2,000 or 3,000 of investors from London, Central Europe, Baltics, that also support us in the form of fixed income investments. By optimizing the equity, we managed to change our dividend policy. So we have committed for the larger payouts for the shareholders. On top, we decided to buy back shares, because different investors want different types of returns. One of the part wants to have dividends, other part doesn't want dividends, but we prefer share buybacks. By combining these two things, our stock is pretty attractive by generating income for shareholders. And of course, you know, that everything was about the history or what's already took place. The future matters a lot. So each organization should have a clear plan or what should be expected by the stakeholders. So we have 4 things that matters for us in the near future. The first one is rebranding. Probably you could say finally, but we say we are right at a point that we need to do that. So in a 1.5 months, we're going to change name, we're going to change brand, we're going to change colors, our colors. So it's a big step for the bank, but well, as we position ourselves as a local challenger, so we want to compete with the Scandi banks in the country more proactively. We do not want to be more associated with a region in a country. We want to be a national-wide partner, business partner for the corporates, a bank for the retail clients that everyone is proud to work with. We are changing our IT platform. It's a big investment for the bank, but in case we want to be one step ahead of Scandi banks, we need to do that, and we need to be more faster, more to adapt to the client needs, and to bring competition into the market. And we commit to the digital, so it means that we're going to provide services by providing services in the branches, but on the same hand, we'll be a digital bank. And again, further capital optimization, it means that every euro that we get from our equity or fixed income investors, we're going to use it as efficient as possible. So probably that's it from my side. Just want to say that I wish a good picks for your portfolio during this year, and of course, generous returns from from their performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a question from the audience? I remind you that we have still lots of books to give out. First of all, is there shareholders of Šiauliu Bankas? Oh, quite few. They went to listen to dividends. But there's a question.
What other stocks are worth looking at in Lithuania right now?
Look, so absolutely Šiauliu Bankas, but what I said in my presentation, that Lithuanian economy is doing well. So you just, you need to look, for the kind of a blue chip investments at least that are being traded in Vilnius Stock Exchange.
There's a question from workshop. Will you erase the shares you buy with the buyback program so the total shares amount will go lower? Or, so each share will give more dividends?
So we changed our dividend policy, so we're committed for higher payouts. We are executing buybacks. It will going to end at the end of the next week. The thing is that our anchor investors cares about the valuation the bank is trading. That's one point. The second point is the management cares as well. So our, variable remuneration is aligned with the performance of the bank's shares. We do have a KPI, which is based also on the valuation the bank is trading. So we will put lots of attention on, the further share price development and on valuation of the bank and what multiples and valuation of the bank is trading.
If you compare the shareholder structure for all around the Baltics, how does it divide from Estonians, Latvians, Lithuanians?
So absolutely Estonians is dominating, and as I said, we'll be taking that as an example. So we do have up to 15,000 Estonian ones, but we do here LHV has 40, NFIT 60, so we believe that, there is a room to increase. We do have 5K Lithuanians, not much Latvians, but what is good about the Lithuanian retail investors, so we believe that the efforts that the market players are putting in will pay off. From the 1st of January, it was launched investment accounts in the country. So that solution that Estonia already had for 3 or 4, or maybe 5 years, I don't know, but there is some good development in Lithuanian capital markets that we believe, by putting all other things together, will increase retail clients, retail investors' presence in Baltic's capital market.
Thank you very much, Tomas Varenbergas.
Thank you.